It's Thursday, and you know what that means. Welcome to Max Wrestling, episode 501. This is your captain speaking with the one and only El Jefe, Moses Marquez, although he is one of the army of people that cost me the world title last week. Et tu, Brute? But anyway, we are here to discuss every single twist and swerve in pro wrestling.
The Grudge is tight. Coming up tonight, our immediate reactions over the controversial Mr. McMahon documentary that dropped last night. People on Netflix, or people watching Netflix, are going hamburger. It dropped hours ago, and people, it's crazy. Madness. Plus, we have a fun recap of TNA's Victory Road. Plus, the Golden Gauntlet begins. Ted P. Dinero versus the Phoenix. And the last man standing in this tournament will go on to promo series, getting his shot at Corey Cypher's television championship. And after what may be considered as the greatest episode in Max Wrestling history, we are going to hear, I should say, from both the brand new world champion Beer after the Avengers came to save his ass last week. It's obviously not written by me, with everyone turning on him. And of course, we're going to hear from the captain so he can address all of last week's actions. A whole lot getting into tonight. Make sure, I should say, we are here now, as you can notice, in the enhancement era. We are moving away from the Facebook uploads, leaning more towards the YouTubes. So please do not forget to give a giant thumbs up here, hit the subscribe button down below, and share with your friends. Send them on over to the Max Wrestling YouTubes. And of course, follow us on SoundCloud and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is you get your podcast, and head on over to the beautifully done website, maxwrestlingnet.webby.com, for all your links and a whole bunch more. It's going to send you right here back to YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to need to, obviously we were doing the enhanced era revamp anyway, and we were going to try and focus on YouTube a little more, try and grow that views, but also Facebook started doing us dirty. They started because we promote the episodes every week. That's how we reach a lot of people, and Facebook started saying, no, that looks dodgy. I'm like, there's fucking nothing wrong with it. It's like,
it looks dodgy. Of course the Zuck would suck.
So we're not uploading the episodes directly to Facebook anymore. We've been doing that for, I want to say 7 years now.
Long time.
So now we are focusing solely on YouTube. Obviously, they are available on podcast platforms as well, which, they do okay.
Audio feeds out there for audio feeds.
Yeah, but the glamour is in the YouTubes. So hit that, like Mo said, hit that subscribe button. And last week we did very, very well. Thank you very much for everybody that tuned in. And we hope to bring you some more great content like that, especially like last week's insane episode. We do have some promo action later on, but let's get straight into it because I've seen Beyond the Mat, I've seen The Wrestler, but we just saw the biggest villain on Netflix since Vecna, Mr. McMahon. If you've seen it yourselves, let us know what you think. Jump in the comments. I've only seen the first few episodes so far, so we haven't really got into the really, I mean, we've seen a lot of controversial stuff in the first few episodes, like the steroids trial, the case with the female referee, which we knew about. A lot of stuff in the first few episodes. If you're a wrestling fan, you probably know about. We've heard before all Vince McMahon's skeletons in his closets. I say closets, multiple.
He's got multiple closets. That's why we say this.
Yeah, but obviously we know there's more stuff coming in the later episodes, the more recent stuff. For those of you that have seen the whole series, try not to post any spoilers.
Yeah, go ahead. Give your thoughts in the comments for sure. Don't spoil it up. Unlike Daz, I have yet to watch a single episode. I decided to do the social media route, which from the looks of it, it's making it look super bad. There's obviously some TikTokers out there trying to come to Vince's aid. They want a job, people. They want a job. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. But it's like they're trying to come to the aid of a guy who is literally like, from what and I've only seen clips. So again, if I'm wrong in the comments, steer me the right way. He's pretty much kind of gloating at some points where like he's telling the guy like, holy shit, if I could just tell you the real stories. And the guy's like, all right, cool. Tell us one. Nah, I can't do it.
Yeah, that was in the first episode.
Oh, that was?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so then I don't even want to know how bad it gets to him the fourth and the fifth. But it's just kind of proving who Vince is. and then he even says it in a fun little thing that, if is it bad that he looks out for himself and it doesn't, that he doesn't care that the other guy gets hurt? He's like, well, no, I don't see any harm in that. And it's like that mentality should tell you everything about Vince by itself. So
Yeah.
I'm eager to get into it, like really eager to get into it. But right now, it's just it's yikes. Yikes.
The picture it paints so far is, like I said, a lot of stuff we already know. Bruce Pritchard eats Vince's dinner for breakfast. He's up his ass that much.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan. I yet to make my mind up on how Hulk's coming across in the series.
I've seen a few of his clips, and I'm already understanding what you're driving at.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at Hogan now, and you're like, yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Hey.
But he's not quite burying Vince, but at the same time, he's not really defending him either. So I don't know. Maybe for once, Hulk's actually speaking facts.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, the couple of clips that I've been seeing, I have not seen the normal Hogan that is like, again, almost not as up there as Bruce Pritchard, but, it's pretty up Vince's ass or whatever. And it just doesn't seem that way. It seems like, yeah, he's willing to tell the truth. Brett's out there trying to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's, if there's anybody you're going to get some truth out of, it's fucking Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah. Bret don't sugarcoat anything. Especially when they get to the Montreal screw job.
Oi.
What did surprise me a little bit was how honest Vince actually was about stuff like the screw job and the steroids trial. Like a lot of that, he doesn't. Obviously, he's playing the victim and saying, "Oh, the feds all came after me and they're relentless and they're bullies and this and that." And then when it gets to stuff like letting Hogan go, letting Bret go, he seems very open and honest about it. Like, yeah, I knew it was better for them, so it was good for them. So they went to WCW. I'm like, okay, I did not expect Vince to be like this about people leaving him, especially Hogan and Bret, because it did so much damage to WWE at the time.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was like, they were massive losses, especially Hogan. Hogan was a gigantic loss for them. Bret, maybe not so much. Like you could probably do without Bret, but a loss is a loss. I get his point. But to hear that, like, he's, oh, well, I was trying to help them out, kind of a feel out from what I'm getting from it, is it's like, holy crap, you have a heart?
Yeah. So in that episode, he actually says that he helped Bret look through his contract and find little loopholes where he could get more out of WCW because he couldn't afford to pay Bret what he was paying him, which again did not expect. Eric Bischoff comes across how you expect him to come across. He saw it as yet another major opportunity to gloat about beating WWE for 83 weeks. Eric Bischoff's Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yep, heard that one.
There's stuff early on about like Vince's stooges, particularly Pat Patterson. Tony Atlas pretty much throws him under the bus.
Oh, dude, I love Tony Atlas.
Oh yeah, Tony Atlas pulls no punches as always, but he does it in such a casual way. So like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but this is probably stories we've already heard. Like the stuff with Pat Patterson, everybody's like, oh yeah, he was innocent and stuff. And then Tony Atlas just comes down and goes, yeah, he grabbed my pecker.
Oh.
Just tell us how it really is, Tony.
Tony. Tony's wild.
Shouldn't laugh, but it's just the way he said it so casually. Yeah, he grabbed my pecker.
I was like, again, wrestling fans, for those who are out here like, oh, okay, cool. Like maybe these guys are going to give me some insight on the doc. We apologize. The reality is you have to understand we've lived through the Tony Atlas days. All of this fucking crazy internet memes that he's done.
If you know Tony Atlas, that's just how he is.
That's just, yeah, that's just Tony Atlas. But at the same time, like you know how truthful he is and how like he's been there. If I could if you could go back to the Dark Side of the Ring documentaries, you know what I mean? Like him telling the Brody story was just heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, you know what I mean? So it's like if there's one dude in the biz that I'm gonna fucking My ears are perked up, even though he grabbed a picker. I mean, I kind of believe him, but I mean, he is a little outrageous.
Yeah.
God, I love you, Tony.
So like one of the last bits I saw, it was coming up to the Attitude Era, and they're talking about bringing in Mike Tyson, and it was just such a funny clip of Stephanie McMahon, which was actually from 9 years ago. They shot this interview. Don't know what the hell that was for. Might have been for the Monday Night Wars or something. So this was 2013 in Stephanie's interview. She's just like, oh yeah, we brought in Mike Tyson, but that was before he got arrested for rape, right? And then you just hear a producer going, no, it was after. And she's just like, oh. And then it just cuts to another scene. Doink.
It's down, eh? Good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much as far as I've got. I know there's obviously a lot more dirt to come, and I will try and get through it as quick as I can.
Trust me, the TSK is considering a review of the entire thing, so...
Yeah, I believe it. But again, so for those of you that haven't seen it, so like Mo hasn't seen it, the first 3, maybe 4 episodes are pretty much just about how Vince became so successful, how he took over WWE, how he made it so huge, and then the little controversies that have been building up to this latest massive scandal. So the steroids case, which I think spread over like 2 episodes.
That wouldn't be surprising. I mean, it was pretty massive. It did change the course of the WWF from like how it was going in the 80s into the 90s.
Absolutely. David Schultz is in there, which I thought was a great scene. Well, a great sequence when he slapped the shit. But what I like about Netflix is they didn't present, I forget his name, because the interviewer as a victim. Like, they pretty much said, he was out there trying to expose wrestling, so they pretty much fed him to David Schultz, who slapped the shit out of him. Good. Yeah. Fucking had it coming.
That's what you get. Then again, that was the old school mentality, though. You got to remember that shit.
And then again, Tony Atlas comes on and goes, we were just trying to protect the business.
I grabbed my picker.
That's a fucking new soundbite.
Telling you. Tony does it again.
Maybe we shouldn't use that as a soundbite, but it's just the way Tony says it. We're not glorifying sexual misconduct or anything, but just Tony has a way with words.
That he does. Beautifully put.
When he was talking about the Bellas, they like to do things with the guys, and I left the room.
Hi, Tony.
We did 500 episodes last week. We talked about the history of Max Wrestling a little bit. There is an episode from years ago that we did where Mike was a regular co-host and he took the week off. He took 2 weeks off, actually. And we filled his spot with sound bites from Tony Atlas. Great episode.
God, I gotta listen to this one now. This is gonna be amazing.
All right. So yeah, that's the Vince stuff. Now I do have a lot to address myself. Fortunately, there's no trials or allegations or anything like that. But a lot of shit went down last week, as you can see from this shit right here. The main event, I defended the world title against Beer, and I thought it was captain's rules. Great, my advantage. Even though Beer had the home field advantage, it was in his home. I didn't even bring Phoenix to the ring with me. And maybe it's a good thing I didn't. Because, well, not only did Mo come down, which I understand defending your tag partner, but we saw the return of Travis Walker Anderson, and we saw the Phoenix commit the ultimate betrayal. So why don't I just address all of this right now?
Can you hear me now?
It's already over.
I am wounded. I am a wounded captain. And I'm not talking about the damage done to my face by not one, but two barbed wire bats. I am wounded from a stab wound. In fact, two stab wounds, both of which are in my back. I am here this week to address several people. First of all, Chris Reed. Another chapter in our story. And unfortunately for you, the story stays the same when it comes to title matches against me. And I walked away this time with your gold. But I'm sure we'll meet again. But it looks like you'll have to wait because, yes, Cypher, I heard you call me out.
How about we go ahead and take that dual champion off of you, sweetheart?
And I acknowledge your call out. So let's see if that was just a test, or if you actually want this championship, because you certainly have something that I want. And I'll be watching your Golden Gauntlet very closely. You have a week to call me out again. And if not, we'll see who's next. So, Beer, congratulations. You are the new world champion. And after everything I've put you through, you deserve it. And yes, you made me tap out. But don't forget everything that happened to me in that match before I tapped out. You didn't beat me alone, and you know it. You had a lot of help. Let's get straight to the most obvious one. Moses Marquez.
Really, Moses?
My co-host. My right-hand man. My partner in crime. But also, your tag team partner. So I get that one. And Mo, I won't hold it against you. Too much. Travis the Walker Anderson. Welcome back. Now I would say that I had that coming, but let's actually remember who the victim is here. The whole reason you were kicked out of Dragon Club was because you were working behind our back. You were more concerned with teaming with Cypher than you were your own club. And let's not forget that the moment you joined the club, you took my TV title. So now, let's get down to consequences. Moses and Beer. I respect the fact that you two stick together as a tag team, but this time, it has cost you. Now I know Cypher basically shoved your title challenge up your asses last week until the Walker returned, but lo and behold, he has returned. However, for your interference, you go to the back of the line. Because I got next. Or should I say, we got next. Because you may have caught the fact that I had a debt to pay. The Demoness has been calling me out for weeks. And I was afraid to respond. Because I know what she wants. I know what she wants, and I know what happens if I let that happen. But I'm not afraid now. Now I am very comfortable with what she wants. Because what she wants is the shape. And the time has come
to let him out and bring him home. So, on October 31st, Max Wrestling Halloween, it will be the Demoness and the Shape challenging the Carolina Reapers for the Max Tag Team Championships. But Trav, that's just the beginning. Because you and I need to settle this once and for all. And we will. At the exact event where this all really started 2 years ago. Where you took my World Championship at World's End. Where you formed the MDO and I formed Dragon Club. We called it Rising Storm. But my brother, the storm has fucking arrived. Because I challenge you, Travis the Walker Anderson, to a TV rules match. May the best man win at Promo Series. Now, Beer. Good news. You and I are done for now. I will let you enjoy your reign as world champion. And in fact, Chad Malcolm is the one who really had my back last week. And he wasn't even there. But he did send the Demoness and showed his loyalty. But there's one person I have yet to acknowledge. The reason for the knife-shaped wound in my back. My blood, my family, my bloodline, my cousin, Phoenix. You did the unthinkable. When that chair hit me in the back last week,
Oh my God!
you broke my heart on the other side. Now I know we've been rivals before, but through everything, I could always count on you. And as if that chair shot wasn't enough, you then choke slammed me on the same chair. See, at least Moses and Travis had the balls to face me last week when they interfered, but you hit me from behind. Now I don't know why you decided to betray me at our biggest show of all time, but I promise you, and I promise everybody else, that once I'm done with the tag team champions, once I'm done with Travis, I'm coming for you, Phoenix. And I'm not just coming to cut a promo on you. I'm coming not to set you on fire or beat you down in an alley. I am coming to end you. The king of the kaijus come to conquer. Phoenix, when the time is right, game over.
So, with all that said, let's get into the fun stuff because some people think a Cobra Clutch is a bag made out of a snake. And as such, this is shit Mark say.
I admit me.
They hate Japanese wrestlers. They know less than we forget. They don't know who's the bester. They're having a wank to Jim Cornette. Not a single GCSE between them. This is shit Mark says.
All right, so a lot of the stuff is probably going to, which I haven't saved, I haven't actually looked into, a lot of stuff is probably going to be reactions to the Vince doc, because obviously it dropped yesterday, so I haven't really gone on X in the last 24 hours, because I know it's just going to be all about that. But I did get a couple of other stuff outside of that. First of all, like I said a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I don't really like featuring girls on shit Mark say, because we appreciate female fans because they are a minority. But sometimes they say stupid shit. So Yasmin said, Triple H has not booked any good feud in the women's division since he took over. Oh, I beg to differ. Ah,
I won. You sure?
we look at how he's positioned Rhea Ripley. She's getting paid close to what Mercedes is making in AEW.
Good
And
money.
Mercedes don't fucking deserve that, but that's a different story.
Nope.
But Rhea's earned it. Like,
Oh hell yeah, she has.
she's on
And then some.
everything. Posters,
And-
promos, commercials, everything.
No, fucking-
Interviews, press conferences.
She shuts the internet down every goddamn week. She decides to post something.
So you're telling me Triple H hasn't booked? Okay, maybe I'm taking that out of context. You said he hasn't booked a good feud. Rhea's currently in a pretty good feud with Liv Morgan, which has technically been built over 2 years because Rhea injured Liv, Liv injured Rhea. Then of course they brought Dominic into the whole shit. Rhea had a great feud with Becky.
Mhm.
You look on SmackDown, they built up the breakup of, well, not the breakup of Damage Control because they're still together, but Bayley getting kicked out of Damage Control very, very well. I'll admit they didn't do shit with Bayley after she won the title, but they built her and Io Sky up very well. Even if they didn't feature Bayley on any posters, but that's, again, another story.
Mhm.
Um,
Here nor there. I mean, as far as like again, it's as far as feuds go. There's been decent builds. There's been the like I said, Rhea and Liv were the top one. Then they do. Was it Bailey and Nia?
yeah, after
That one
Nia won the
wasn't
King of
too
the Ring.
bad. And it
Oh, they also did
lasted
Rhea
for a
and
little
Charlotte.
bit. Oh yeah, they did
Like
that
when
one
Rhea-
too. Rhea and Charlotte. Yeah.
Obviously, that was a whole great redemption story from Rhea losing to Charlotte, which she never should have done in the first place.
Hey.
We just keep mentioning Rhea Ripley. She's been in all the fucking top feuds. And you're telling me Triple H ain't booked a good one?
I mean that's I think that's a little hearsay, or no, I wouldn't say by like that's your own way of thinking or whatever, their own way of thinking. So Yasmin is, maybe to her they're not built well enough. Maybe they need to be, I don't know, well more over the top. I don't know. I think they're good feuds. I think that there have been now granted, yes, it's been all Rhea, but
Yeah.
what's the harm in that? We used to bitch when it was all Charlotte. At least we like Rhea. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you also kind of have to take into consideration there's been a lot of injuries in the women's division in the last year or two. Like I just mentioned, Rhea and Liv. Dakota Kai got injured again and again. Who else got injured?
She got injured. Somebody else got hurt.
Asuka's currently injured.
Is it Tegan Knox?
Tegan got injured. Again, ACLs are a bitch. There's just been... I don't even know how long Asuka's been out. She's just got hurt that bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, Asuka's been out for a hot minute.
Then again, we got Tiffany Stratton, who is currently in a great feud with Nia Jax, even if you don't realize it. They're building to the turn. So I think it's very unfair to say Triple H hasn't booked any good feuds in the women's division since he took over. Obviously, the priority has been the bloodline because it's just Roman, and
that's kind of where I was gonna, I guess, allude to. In retrospect, yes, the men have been booked better than the women, have a bigger spotlight than the women, but that's hard comparisons right there. You know what I mean? Like the way that he's been building pretty much the entire roster up, not just the men, but the women too, tag division, even the women's tag. He's been trying to elevate everything. And in my opinion, he has. It's gotten better. The product has gotten better. It's watchable. I don't know if I want to fucking do 3 hours a goddamn show, but it's enjoyable.
I've only got one other one saved, and this ties in actually to women's booking, because this one isn't even from a fan. This is shock horror Mercedes Moné. um, who for some reason keeps getting interviewed by people, and then it keeps making its way on the internet.
Stop it.
I know she still has her fans out there, but she is getting more and more unbearable by the day, and her
Can't
ego
wait.
is just. You know how in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Star Lord's father is called Ego, and he's literally a planet.
Yep.
Mercedes is her ego is bigger than a fucking planet.
Yes, it is.
She said recently, "I definitely lead by example. People definitely see what I do and follow what I do. I don't have to go out there and be like, I'm the leader, I'm the locker room leader, or I'm this and that. People just see my presentations and how I walk into work and how I leave work, and they want to emulate that." No,
No.
no, 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 no. Maybe
Hell no.
10 years ago, people were aspiring to be like Sasha Banks. Ain't nobody want to be like Mercedes Moné.
No.
Your promos are fucking dog shit. You get carried in the ring. You're an entitled brat. And you're certainly not a locker room leader because half the locker room are like, why is she getting all this?
I was just gonna say exactly. You are far from a locker room leader, especially in AEW. I swear to God, like, and I don't know why I just want to continue to compare her in football standards, but it's like if the best player in like League One. So like, let's say like I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry. Let's just say like Paul Mullins decided, fuck it, I'm gonna. Oh God, and this is gonna be painful. He decides I'm gonna sign with Chelsea, but this is a Paul Mullen with an ego fucking bigger than Saturn, obviously. So he's over there like, oh, get out of the way, fucking Cole Palmer. Get out of the way, fucking Nicholas Jackson. Fucking Paul Mullins in the bitch. Like, huh? It's just he's like, I'm the leader now. It's like, I mean, we were like happy to have you here, but like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's the vibe she fucking gives. It's like, you're here, you're getting paid a lot of money, and maybe you're trying to be a locker room leader. I don't know what it is you're doing to ensue that leadership role. It's definitely not by example. Your
No.
matches are subpar. There is a young lady who is, again, a young lady from Japan, still relatively fresh, who is your new AEW Women's World Champion, who schmurders every match she's in against anybody. Hell, it was a fucking throwaway match with Yuki Sakazaka, and it was stupendous.
Yeah.
It's stupendous. You can't do that with the best opponents, let alone the worst opponents, and let alone people don't know. So if you can't lead by example, the last thing you are is a leader.
Yeah, and I know she's kind of lost her edge a little bit, but we used to talk about Britt Baker being the MJF replacement as a fourth pillar. But like during that run, Britt Baker was like leading the women's locker room by example. She went out there, she was killing it in promos. She was having great matches. She was on the face of everything, representing the women. Mercedes.
If I could pause right and get right in between there real fast. AEW. She did it for AEW, not just the women, but the men too. She helped carry the entire company.
Yeah. Whereas everything Mercedes does is look what I'm doing for AEW. Look at me.
You're the kid. You're the kid where the parents have told you participation medals don't matter, and you thought you got it in your head, and you're like, "Hey, we lost, so where's my trophy?" Huh?
Yeah, but you gave yourself a bunch of trophies anyway because you got creative control. Good job.
That's right. So she won MVP, EVP, PVP, LPV. I don't know.
I'm sure she'll come up again later on too in on the Bell End board. But by the way, people, how do you like the new shit mark say theme? Please leave those comments because I know I wrote it, but the first time I played it back and listened to it, I fucking died. And it's only 30 seconds long, if that.
This is beautiful. By the way, same thing with just like as we did earlier today. If you got something that you heard some jerk off on the internet say, mention it below, and maybe we'll mention it next week.
Yeah, I know Mike Feeney, I I say Feeney with no affection anymore. Mike and Phoenix constantly send me stuff. Oh, look what this Mark said. That can go on Shit Mark Say next week. Yeah. So, yeah, if you got anything, leave it in the comments, and we'll try and remember it for next week. But we're going to take a break now, so we're going to leave you pondering over this random wrestling fact. Who has the most wins in WWE history without ever being WWE champion? Stay tuned for the answer. This is your captain speaking. You can listen to my brand new song, Every Single Scar, right now on YouTube, which is the brand new Max Wrestling theme song. And if you missed the announcement earlier this week, there is a second album coming in January 2025, which features Every Single Scar. You can find it on YouTube right now. However, it's not on streaming sites just yet, but it will be up there very soon. And of course, the new album is coming. You may get a few more tracks before then. But for now, you can listen to the first album, Monster, which is available everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Anywhere you can find music, you can find Captain's Revenge. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. This is your captain speaking. He is El Jefe. Speak his name and he appears. Make sure you're liking and subscribed on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. And for all the information that you need, go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. And the answer to the random wrestling fact: who has the most wins in WWE history without ever being WWE champion? I'm guessing very few of you got it, because it's not a name that gets mentioned very often. But it's Tito Santana.
Oh, Big Tito.
Big Tito. If you watched wrestling in the 90s, you know who he is. If not, then you probably won't, because, again, he doesn't get mentioned very often.
Oh.
But yeah, Tito Santana was never a WWE champion, but he did have 1,071 wins under his belt.
Jesus Christ, lawyer. Trust me, he was a mainstay in the early 90s. Go back and check it out. Retro Rewind style. Still to come, we hear from our new world champion, Beer, as we recap last week's TNA, NXT, and AEW. But first, it's time to get into some more good stuff. The Golden Gauntlet is a winner stays on tournament, and the winner will go on to challenge Cypher for the TV title at Promo Series. And it begins right here, right now, with your first promo of the tournament. The Phoenix will go one-on-one with the former world champion, Ted P. Dinero.
Let's go, Teddy.
Hello people, just real quick, I think there's some things I need to address. First off, Beer, congratulations, you've earned that championship. Just remember, it's one thing to win it, it's another thing to keep it, and one day soon, I'm coming for that title. Second of all, Captain, hitting you with that chair was one of the sweetest feelings I've had in a very long time. And don't get it twisted, I didn't do it out of jealousy or anger or anything like that. I simply hit you with that chair because I wanted to. You see, not that long ago, I decided that I was going to do whatever that I want to do. And take whatever I want, and no matter who stands in my way. So, let's talk about the real reason we're here. Teddy P, you and I have gone at it a few times this year. Only the last time we were supposed to meet, you didn't show up. And from what I've heard, you've gone rather quiet lately. And although I do hope everything is okay with you personally, I could care less about whether you show up or not, because to be honest, I'm getting bored with you. So show up, don't show up, it doesn't matter, the result's going to be the same. Me walking away with a W and leaving you in my rearview mirror. Do you get it? Because if not, then it's probably not for you to get. And as for next week, no matter who it is, I'll be ready.
If you don't get it, it's probably not for you to get.
Yeah. Let you in the mind of a broken man. I live life with a sky, it's my speed limit. It's my world, y'all just live in it. Scratch that, matter of fact, you ain't nothing in it. It's my own rules, in the fifth dimension. Diamond shining prime time, victim of the high life.
It's the glitch in the system. How are you? I see that the game changer has went on a power trip. And instead of get stripped, I gave up what was rightfully mine. I wasn't gonna follow the rules. I don't follow his rules anymore. His rules are passe. No, Phoenix. You know, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. This is a never-ending thing with me and you. It will never end. This beef. When I first got the max, I screwed you. And that's what I intend to do. But that was 2 years ago? Phoenix. Your destiny is my fatality. I'm just waiting for you to continue to suffer. That's all I am. I'm waiting on you to continue to suffer. So you have no idea what I'm capable of, what I can do. I can destroy Max Wrestling with a snap of my fingers. But I don't. I withheld all the power and withhold it. I need it all. I need the power. I need the power. I will get the power. Do you think you, newly formed, a part of Legion, do you think you can withhold from me the glitch in the system? I am nowhere. I'm everywhere. I control everything. I control nothing. All I am is a shadow that is full of darkness. What you others don't understand is that I've been here for a very, very long time, and I stay and remain dormant far too long. Phoenix, it's time for you to fall, Phoenix. It is time for you to fall. It's time for you to understand that there is nobody in Max Wrestling that will ever stop this between me and you. Only way out of this rivalry is in a casket. That's the only way. Because as long as you breathe, I will make you suffer. I am your reaper. I am your consequences. I am me. And if you don't get it, then it's probably not for you to get it.
So Phoenix, I say with so much resentment, comes in at 2 minutes 1 second, which is a very short promo. Whereas Teddy P went just that much longer. So Teddy P advances to the Golden Gauntlet. He will face a mystery opponent next week, and I am here celebrating. Good job, Teddy.
Good job, Teddy.
Impact in 3, 2, 1.
Look at this shit working injured. But anyway, TNA Victory Road was this past week, and it was pretty much match. Very little in between. So we kicked it off with Kushida defeating Leon Slater with an armbar. Hammerstone and Jake Something defeated Eric Young and Steve Macklin. The Hardys defeated First Class with the classic Hardy combo of Twist of Fate and the Swanton Bomb, although there was a very sweet Twist of Fate instantly into a neckbreaker from Matt at one point. Very nice double team work from the Hardys. Mike Bailey defeated Zachary Wentz to regain the X Division Championship with the Flamingo Driver, and it's just like, why even change the title in the first place? Just to drop it back. We hate hot potato titles, especially with X Division. But anyway, we were supposed to get a mixed tag team match with Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander versus PCO and Rhino, but Steph DeLander comes out in a neck brace and announces she needs surgery, so the mixed tag match is cancelled, but it doesn't stop Matt Cardona from attacking Rhino. Spitfire defeated Masha and Tasha to regain the Knockouts tag team titles, and again, I think we predicted this last week, that was the right call because there was no reason to split them up. Obviously they would have had to disband if they lost, so Spitfire keeps going and they're the new tag team champions. Joe Hendry defeated Josh Alexander after cleverly wearing a cup in his tights to avoid a low blow, and hits the standing ovation followed by an ankle lock to tap out Josh Alexander. The System defeat ABC again to retain the tag team titles with a spear from Myers and the Boston Knee Party from Edwards on Chris Bay. Everybody's just regaining titles at Victory Road, except for the main event, but we'll get to that. Jordan Grace defeated Wendy Chu, bog standard, with the Juggernaut Driver to retain the Knockouts Championship. And in the main event, Nick Nemeth did in fact defeat Moose to retain the world title with a super kick and the Danger Zone, while John Layfield deals with the System. So that's TNA. We're switching it up to WWE now so we can get into SmackDown. So I'm going to recap the Smack. So we're doing things a little bit differently with WWE recaps. Instead of going through everything, I'm going to give you a 3 count, which is top 3 calls, and then near falls, which is So first and foremost, goes without saying, top of the 3 count, that cinematic segment between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes was an absolute masterpiece. It's all anybody's been talking about from SmackDown. It was beautifully done. Paul Heyman and Jeremy Borash were very much involved in the production of it, and it looked, sounded, felt so good. Great acting from both Roman and Cody. Cannot wait for the rubber match between them eventually, somewhere down the line. Also on the 3 count, I'm going to go with tension building between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, We obviously knew from the start that Tiffany was biding her time to cash in, but now they're adding that, intensity between them, that friction. So you know that when Tiffany cashes in eventually on Nia Jax, she is going to get that big pop. Not just because she's cashing in, but because Nia deserves it. And to be honest, I don't really have another highlight. It was pretty much a simple episode of SmackDown other than those two highlights from it. Near falls, let's go. Kevin Owens seems to have been feuding with the Bloodline forever. If it's not them, it's A-Town Down Under, and I'm kind of over it. Is there really nothing else we can do with KO? Also as a near fall. Actually, you know what? I can't think of anything else negative. It was a solid debut for USA Network, but obviously all anyone is talking about is that incredible Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns segment. So you got two highlights this week, one near fall, and that's all I'm going with. So now let's go to Moses for a recap from AEW this past Friday and Saturday, kicking it off with the Rampage report.
This is Rampage, baby. This is the show that y'all been waiting on. Adrenaline pumping your chest. This is Rampage, yeah. This is Rampage.
Alright, so unlike SmackDown, I do have 3 points for both sections. So in the free count for Raw, let's go Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental title. Yes, maybe it's a little bit too soon for Braun Breaker to lose it, but Jey is incredibly overdue a singles title, so he definitely deserves it. It's just weird timing how they've only just been pushing Braun Breaker, and now excuse me, now they finally decide to give Jey Uso a title. It's one of those things you can't have them both. So it kind of sucks for Braun Breaker to have his reign cut so short, but they should have put a title on Jey a long time ago. So he definitely deserves it. It was a great moment. It's obviously great for the younger fans. There's a lot of younger Jey Uso fans out there that are fucking loving this. Like that viral video that went viral of that kid with the Jey Uso haircut and everything. You know what? That's what it's all about. Also on the 3 count, building to Bad Blood was great this week. So we're building towards these 2 stipulation matches. Obviously with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Drew cut a great promo to build for the match. And then we get Rhea Ripley in the ring with Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom. Rhea announcing that at their match at Bad Blood, Dom is going to be suspended in a shark cage, which I hate. Because obviously I love sharks. But I've always found it kind of stupid how they involve shark cages with wrestling. But what else are you supposed to call them? That's what they are. I mean, it's a great stipulation match, and you can do a lot of fun stuff with it. But I just hate the name, shark cage match, kind of thing. It's like Judy Bagwell on a forklift. It's it sounds stupid on paper, but it's always good fun. And then finally, we'll go big meaty men brawling as the third and final highlight, because Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed just slapping the shit out of each other was just insane. It was chaos. Unfortunately, it meant we didn't get to see The Miz wrestle. He lost his match spot to these two brawling, so I know Phoenix will be happy about that. And then near falls, the negatives. Unfortunately, let's go. I don't know how divisive this is going to be, but the New Day breakup to me feels forced. It doesn't feel natural at all. It's just like they've kind of sat down and gone, we don't want to do this anymore, so let's just break them up. How can we do that? Whatever. It would have made more sense how it was going with Odyssey, but obviously that shit hit the fan. So obviously they're still going with the breakup somewhere down the line, and it doesn't feel natural. It just feels like they're doing it for the hell of it because they're bored of having New Day around. But I mean, longevity wise, I don't think you can fault New Day for how long they've been together. Tag teams do never, I mean, I know they started off as a trio, but tag teams never, ever, ever last this long. Unless it was like the 80s. But also, we'll go American Made. Their new singlets is a near fall for me. They used those Temu tokens for Kurt Angle gear. And then finally, I'm going to go Carlito still beefing with Dragon Lee. I forgot they were even beefing. Why are we still dragging this out? I know we've had Drew McIntyre and Punk since January, but they've kept it going. They've carried that feud. Whereas Carlito's been, doing stuff with the Judgment Day and dropping funny lines backstage. Why is he still beefing with Dragon Lee? This is over. It has been over, but we're dragging it back out. So that was a near fall for me. So that was Raw. Now we're going to get back to the act. There is no NXT segment this week. Alright? No NXT. Stop it. I will just say, though, Stephanie Baker.
I am fear.
Thursday it is. And we embark in a new era. Not only am I going to welcome you into the enhanced era that we are approaching here at Max Wrestling, I want to welcome you all to the era of beer. Now, last week on Max 500, it was an emotional one for me. I went to war with a man I called a brother and my best friend. There's an overwhelming sense of happiness that I made him tap out and became your world heavyweight champion. But there's also a part of me that's disappointed in the fact that I've lost my best friend. I don't know what ego or what power that got into his head, but that is a question or an answer for another day. I made a promise to everyone at Max Wrestling that I was going to burn the Dragon Club down. And I think I did a pretty damn good job. But this is what we're going to do. I am going to be a champion that you are all going to be proud of. A champion that is going to willing to fight for everything that this brand stands for. Max Wrestling is a beautiful brand with fine people there. Now, ever since I came back, I was gone for 7 years. And since I come back, I was a tag team champion. My brother Jefe, we will get those bad boys back, by the way. I was a former knowledge champion, but we won't go there. And also a 2-time King of the Mic finalist. And now, standing before you, your World Heavyweight Champion. But this is what we're going to do. So we have a little event called Promo Series right around the corner, baby. And this is what I want. As your champion, I am holding an open challenge to anybody that wants to step up to be champion, to take my championship from me, the championship that I've worked hard for. And I've been proud, and I am proud to be your champion. Now, Captain, one day, brother, I may even forgive you for what you did. And making you bleed last week in this very living room was one of the most satisfying yet heartbreaking things I ever had to do. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. And we usher the rise again of the Phoenix. We saw the return of the Walker, Travis Anderson. It was my fight to lose, Daz. And like I said, one day I may forgive you. But one day you'll want a shot at this again. If you want it, you come and get it. I'll be waiting. And whoever steps up to face me at Promo Series, I wish you all the best of luck. Because all you gotta do is show up. Oh, and I tell you what, we ain't partying all night. We partied ever since last Thursday. And I'm only just recovering from the hangovers, by the way. But this is worth everything. So this is your world champion speaking. We're going to go back to him. And we're going to go back to the man, El Jefe. This was your world champion speaking.
Really? You're going to fucking interrupt me? Not even bringing us the NXT recap just to brag? All right.
The one time I'll absolutely accept a nice, nice no NXT. This is good. Enjoy your rest, Big Dog. Congratulations to you. So let's hop into last night on Dynamite. Very, very good Dynamite, if I might add, from, the Grand Slam, Dynamite Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe Stadium. It actually opens up with Nigel McGuinness pretty much beelining it to the ring, awaiting Bryan Danielson. They tease that he's not coming, and then out comes with the final countdown. Even my wife's over here looking at me like, what am I doing? Yelling final countdown. We're all yelling it until it's over. So
you got to play
Bryan
the right
theme. It is a great thing. Bryan Danielson successfully defeats Nigel McGuinness with the bell lock as he says thank you and then taps out. After the match, Christian Cage appears, and he's thinking about cashing in on the open contract. But of all ways to interrupt somebody in the whole thing, Kip Sabian comes out and just steals his fucking pen and runs to the back. They almost run directly into Claudio and Pac, who are behind the curtain, in a very, very creepy way. Mm-hmm. Hook and Roderick Strong have a match for no good goddamn reason. Hook wins with a red rum, then goes on to retire the FTW Championship, giving it to his dad Taz, hugging it out, having a nice moment. I'm glad that this is happening. This belt, it's great for it to go away. That way, if we decide we need to, have another one of these matches, have an FTW style match, you can bring it back in for a special occasion. So good job getting rid of it. Speaking of banger matches for no good goddamn reason, the Young Bucks defeat Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher with stereo super kicks and the EVP trigger. But this match was fantastic. If Don Callis doesn't get involved with the stupid screwdriver, we may have had new tag team champions. It's so freaking good. Go back and double check this one. They both get both shots to the face. Ospreay and Fletcher do, followed up by Ospreay stopping Fletcher from using a screwdriver. Having him give a big old yelling at Don Callis. They have a nice stare down. They're both kind of broken afterwards. Not so mad at each other, more mad at the situation. So I'd love to see how this thing goes, and we will figure it out next week. Backstage, Rocky Romero is officially a brand new member of the conglomeration as Mark Briscoe welcomes him, goes off on the learning tree, and then, of course, does what every good company does, plugs the merch. So, Schiavone is out there interviewing Prince Nana for an update on Swerve. He confirms that Swerve is still not medically cleared, and who can blame him? He got stabbed in the mouth with a syringe. All of a sudden, he is interrupted by the debuting MVP. I'm a little shocked at this one. He calls out Nana for not fighting the wrongs done by Swerve, and why is the guy that beat Swerve still walking around? And he says that if he wants to talk, give his card to Swerve so he can talk business. Obviously, looking to get rid of Prince Nana as his manager, which I'm a little intrigued on. We'll see how it goes. So, Mariah May defeats Yuka Sakazaki, as I said, in a very good match for the AEW Women's Championship. She wins with the Storm Zero. Looks like it does a lot of damage. Willow Nightingale comes down. I pop hard because we all love Willow. It looks like it might be Willow and Maria, but it's all of a sudden interrupted by the love of her life, if you will. Mina Shirakawa returns, accidentally distracts the entire thing. Mariah literally attacks her, picks her up with a hug, swings her around, and then the second Yuka Sakazaki gets close, Mariah May beelines to the tunnel. It's all hiding behind it. It's fucking great. It plays up the fucking heel so much. God, I love this whole storyline. I don't care if it's a little wonky. I love it. In the main event, it's 3 minutes in. Darby Allin is bloodied from the mouth, something fierce. I don't know what happened. But it goes on to Jon Moxley beating Darby Allin with just absolute shots to the face. And then all of a sudden, that's when we get Bryan Danielson comes down. He attacks Moxley after the match and has a few friends that fight off the Blackpool Combat Club. So we've built to Wrestle Dream, and I think the writing might be on the wall.
Yeah. Home state. Seems like perfect place to. I mean, they do keep making a point retire full time. Yes. So he is probably going to wrestle again, but this will be his last full time match. But that also means that we're probably more than likely gonna get first ever 4-time world champion in Jon Moxley.
Pushing the fuck out of John. They are in AEW. And people said that his runs were shit.
Nah, well, like when he was covering for Punk, I think he proved how much he can carry that company on his back when called upon. Oh, yeah. Like he was supposed to be on vacation that time, and he won the world title again.
Again, yes. I remember this constant thing, like, please go on vacation.
Yes.
Please take the wife and go somewhere.
Renee, we can't go away. Punk's hurt again. That was very good.
That was very good.
Instantly, I was interested before, but now we've actually seen Mox and Brian actually get physical since All Out. I'm a little bit more interested in this match.
Brian channeled the old Brian, and granted, he wasn't choking a man with his own tie; he was choking him with a belt.
Yes, and TBS stopped censoring Brian Danielson's classic Ring of Honor catchphrase because it's been so long since we heard him say he's going to kick someone's fucking head in.
Yeah, that and I don't even know what the fuck MVP said because they cut it out all fucking
Yeah.
funky.
They played like some weird other soundbite over it.
Yeah, just bleep it. Just bleep. Like what's so wrong with that?
But going back to MVP's debut, it's divided people a little bit. I'm excited for it because I think MVP is capable of so much behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's bingo.
Obviously, he's past his prime as a wrestler, but he's a
Sure.
great manager and he's a great mind for the business.
He's worked in a lot of different promotions. He's gained a lot of different experience in different areas.
Yeah.
He could definitely be used in the proper way.
Yeah. And he did tease a little business coming to AEW too. But it gave me vibes of TNA because I was in the building when he debuted in TNA as the investor.
Yeah.
And just the presence that he had then was great because we hadn't really seen him on TV for a number of years since he left WWE. So to see him coming back, it was very nostalgic. And that was in, I want to say 2013, 2012. So he still had quite a bit left in the tank.
Yeah.
And that was a double taping. So he made his debut and then he did the second episode taping and he had a match. And it was like, I'm watching MVP have a match. And then the place just went nuts for balling. I'm like, is it 2006 again? What the fuck's going on?
Sure is.
So yeah, that part of me that has seen a lot of MVP during his prime is excited to see what he can do in AEW as a manager and behind the scenes, not so much as a wrestler because he's walking with a friggin' cane now anyway.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head beautifully. Who's coming with him?
Yeah. I mean, Dirt Sheets kind of spoiled it anyway, but it was pretty obvious. We were going to get Lashley and MVP in AEW.
I'm excited. I am a little bit, but then at the same time, as a fan of the fight game, they were saying that Bobby Lashley in his 50s could fucking like maybe go fight in the UFC or something. I was like, bring it the fuck on, bring it the fuck on right now.
Oh, there's a lot of big meaty men for Lashley to fight in AEW.
Yeah, there is. Where the fuck's Wardlow, by the way?
Oh, again with fucking Wardlow. That guy gets dropped more than a basketball.
Hey.
So let's move on to one little bit of business to contend with before we close the show up with the final couple of segments. For those of you that saw what happened last week with Phoenix, obviously I addressed it earlier. There is one consequence you need to face right now, Phoenix, because obviously last week you were supposed to defend the Knowledge title against Kenny Killer. Kenny didn't show up in time, so you ended up defending it against Moses. You retained anyway. However, Kenny did actually turn in his answers, just not in time for the edit of the show. So I do have Kenny's trivia, and he is still going to challenge you for the title right now. Same questions as last week. Obviously, these were recorded before the show was airing, so there's no advantage. You all had the same questions at the same time. We just didn't get the answers in time for the edit of the show. So, Phoenix, let's see if Kenny can get one more point than you, because that's all he needs is a full house. Round one is missing champion. Championship is the original WWE Women's Championship. So who is missing from this sequence? Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, Lita, Chyna. Round two is the finisher. Simply, whose finisher is the lumbar check?
The lumbar check is Cedric Alexander.
And the third round is 5 or Die, best of 5 questions. Question 1. Who is the only member of the original 2 TLC matches to never compete in a Royal Rumble match?
I think the only person who hasn't been in a Rumble match of the originals would be Devon.
Question 2. Bad Blood returns this year after a 20-year hiatus. But in what city did the original Bad Blood take place in 1997?
Bad Blood, original Bad Blood. That was the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match with the Hell in a Cell, innit? Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna say somewhere like Chicago.
Question 3. Who wrestled Shawn Michaels to a double countout at SummerSlam 1992?
Shawn Michaels wrestled I believe it's the model Rick Martel in SummerSlam 92. Because I think that's the one where he had Sherry as his manager, and then Rick Martel threw the water over her, I think, if that's I remember rightly.
Question 4. Where is WrestleMania 41 held next year?
The next Mania 41 is going to be held in Las Vegas.
And final question. Counting only former Intercontinental Champions, who has the most wins in WWE history?
Counting only Intercontinental Champions. I think I get what you're asking. Out of all of the Intercontinental champions who have had the most wins, not necessarily the most title reigns, the most wins, which means that it's about, I suppose, longevity. Oh God, I would. It must be Chris Jericho.
All right, it almost worked. 1 point away ain't too bad. But you know what? We got the Knowledge title gauntlet coming up at Promo Series, so maybe we give Kenny another chance in the first round. Kenny versus Phoenix. And then, I don't know, Mo, you want to take the second spot? So Phoenix can take on you both again?
I'm always down for the Knowledge game. Always down for the Knowledge game.
And then for the third spot, he's banned himself.
That's right.
We'll see who takes the third spot in the gauntlet. It won't be me. I've done 2 years in a row. And I won it by a fluke last time, so I ain't doing that again.
Hey, maybe we need to get some old school guys to come into the Knowledge game to get back. But who knows? We'll figure it out. Last week, though, was Max 500. And boy almighty, was it epic. So much went down. And we have plenty of time before our next Max event, which is Promo Series. But don't get your panties in a twist. Do get excited, though, because we do have a themed episode coming up on October the 31st. And guess what? That's right. You've guessed it correctly. It's Max Wrestling Halloween. And as you heard earlier, it'll be the Carolina Reapers defending the Max Wrestling Tag Team Champions against the Union from Hell, the Demoness, and the return of that guy you might be afraid of, the Shape.
You should be. Everybody should be. And the Shape and the Demoness together. Never been seen before. Well, they've kind of had deals in the past, but ask and you shall receive is all I can say. The Shape has been in the shadows for long enough. But like Moses said, Promo Series 9, Shoot to Kill, is coming in November 28th, and history shows that big things happen at Promo Series. But does it get bigger than this? 10 months in the making. To finally settle the score, it will be the Captain versus the Walker. No cinematics, no trivia, no excuses, but it's a grudge match.
One grudge match to another. Good God Almighty, the Captain stays busy. And if that is not all, because Promo Series is the home, as what my man Daz already said, the winner stays on Gauntlet. 2 spots have already been filled. And as you just heard moments ago, it is Phoenix champion defense, and we'll figure it out as we go along. He's got 2 competitors so far. Who will be the third, and who will run the gauntlet?
Well, speaking of gauntlets, the Golden Gauntlet has begun. It takes place every week until Promo Series, and whoever is left will challenge Cypher for the Television Championship. The question is, who will be stepping up to the Gauntlet next week to take on this week's winner? Go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com/promo series for more information.
Right now, like the Pinky.
All right, then. You saw a nice, sweet little graphic for Shit Marseille this week. The sound is still the same, but you got a nice, cool new graphic now for the 2 boards. So let's put some points on the bell end board.
A bell end? You're a bell end, mate. Look, bell end 1, bell end 2, big veiny bell end over here.
Polished and so slick. Bro, there's nothing raw about this show. And bro, we're talking about pro wrestling here. Pro wrestling needs to be raw. Steve Austin's promos were raw. Kevin Nash darting Rey Mysterio into the TV truck was raw. There is nothing raw about this show whatsoever, bro. This show is so...
Fucking Vince Russo. Raw.
What?
This is raw, bro.
It's supposed to be raw.
I guess that puts him on the board.
That definitely puts him on the board. So Vince Russo, my God, bro, he's like, I'm envisioning him now at a steakhouse. It's supposed to be raw. There you go. There's a great visual for your day. 10 points. It's been called Raw forever. Shut the fuck up.
Technical difficulties, bro. This is supposed to be Raw. This is supposed to be Max Wrestling, you know?
I'm trying to cut an award-winning podcast with Sam fucking Roberts from New York City.
Jack. Tell him, Steve.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. This is
We're
what
supposed
happens
to be
when you get-
enhanced.
The enhanced era. Vince Russo's on the board.
It's
It's fucking
supposed to be
shit's going
enhanced.
haywire.
Max Wrestling, bro.
Oh my God! So this is what happens. Don't talk Vince Russo. Your internet cuts out. Give him a nice 10 points because I don't understand how you can be that stupid. And then Mercedes, give Mercedes Moné another nice whopping 10 points because nobody in any industry of any kind ever has been this cocky about their life.
Maybe Hogan, but
Shit, that's up there.
oh
That's
shit!
fucking.
Is
If
she
you're
the new
fucking at
Hogan?
Hogan levels, good God.
Okay, that puts her on 40. Where's Russo at? He's now on 30. All right, so that doesn't affect the top 5, which is currently Hulk Hogan on 80, Tony Khan on 93,
Hey.
tied, actually, yeah, second and third, Donald Trump and the Vince McMahon sex ring at a whopping 100 points each. That may increase for the Vince's sex ring after the next few episodes on Netflix. And then right at the top on 103 is Eric Bischoff.
Hey, shocker.
You bitter old bastard, you.
Yeah, he is.
All right, let's do some more points this time on the Bruv board. Bruv.
Brother.
So currently, the top 5 of the Bruv board is Sting at 62. Is that also his age? Jesse Ventura at 65.
Hey.
Brett Baker at 80. Will Ospreay and Cody Rhodes both at the top on 90.
Hey, fucking good.
Well, that's going to change because I am definitely giving a nice 20 points to Cody Rhodes and actually to Roman Reigns for that segment on SmackDown. Fucking beautiful stuff.
Beautiful. Why
More of that.
More Jeremy Borash, please.
The guy is a genius. Been saying that for years.
That was beautifully done. Beautiful. That's high quality television, average quality movie right there.
Oh man, can we get a water, boys? How about that high quality television?
High quality.
Wait a minute. Is Roman even on the fucking board yet?
Oh,
he should
don't
be.
do it.
Nah, he should be.
Did
Roman.
we not
where
give
you
him
at?
any points? For
Oh
his
yeah,
return?
he's on 20.
Okay.
So now he's on
Woo.
40.
Good.
Something else that was great. I'm gonna give 10 points to Tony Atlas.
Oh yeah.
For the fucking pecker.
God damn. Tony.
Sorry, Tony. It's just
I'm
the
sorry.
way you said it.
Love you, Tony. Love, bro.
Let's go 10 points to Brett for just being Brett. Never change Brett. Just no bullshit. We didn't give Brett points for his return, so Brett's now on the board. As far as AEW goes,
Got to give some for B-Dry. He
Yeah,
survived the bag attack, beat Nigel McGuinness, and then went on to almost kill John Moxley.
Yeah, we'll go 5 points for B Dry.
Hey.
'Cause I think that was just another day in the office for him, really.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, right?
Nigel McGuinness, is he already on the board? He should be. No, he's not on. I didn't give him any points for his return. What the fuck?
Oh, come
Okay.
on.
Let's go 30 points for Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah.
That's backdated points as well.
Yep, catch him up.
Great match, great comeback.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to finish it off with 10 points to Mina Shirakawa because she just looked like the lost, innocent girl coming out there, and her Mariah May's just changed so much and left her in the distance. So poor Mina.
This is going to be such a good feud, though. The whole thing is going to be awesome.
We love us some Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah, we friggin' do.
All right, then. That is all the points for this week. If you have any suggestions of your own, please don't hesitate to add the names to the comments, and we will decide how many points to give them next week on the Bell End or the Bruv boards. So get involved with those boards. We want to know how many points you want to give them to. Who do you think is a Bell End? Who do you think is a Bruv? And don't call me a Bell End.
Hey.
Plenty of people did that last week.
Yeah, they did.
So thank you. Man.
Oh, come on.
Thank you. I did some pretty nasty shit, but anyway. Thank you for joining us for the enhanced era. I hope we rocked you harder than Anthony Joshua.
And I like him.
Before we close this up, we've changed the name so there's no more association really with Kevin Nash's podcast. Let's find out what host Mo and the TSK have for you pencil neck geeks with a roundup of Click Talk.
Hey. Kind of like the new name, Click Talk. I say each and every week, a whole bunch is coming, a whole bunch is coming, a whole bunch is coming. But the planning actually happened properly. The editings are done. Thumbnails are being made, and your inboxes and your channel, our channel, I should say, will be flooded with so much stuff. It's not even funny. If said correctly, if done correctly, there's going to be a minimum of 2 Kicking In with the TSK episodes, the 2 AEW All In, All Out reviews that have yet to drop. There is a possibility of a TSK review of the Vince McMahon documentary. Not a guarantee, possibility. If you want to see it, let me know in the comment section. And if it's an overwhelming, we got to have it, and then the boys have to make it. And on top of that, a flood, an absolute flood of football content will be hitting the lovely site here soon enough. I have 3 backdated episodes. I have 1 happening probably today. They're all going to probably drop at the same time by Saturday. So a whole lot is coming out, and it's finally time that it does. Expect the Max Footy Pod to be a regular thing. It's going to be hard to cover 2 games a week playing in Europe, but stuff's going to happen, and hopefully that means we'll get to see something from Chad, from Nicola, from Beer. We'll see it all, but we'll figure it out. And the only way for you to figure it out is make sure you're following on all the lovely socials. Hit the Evil X Machine Twitter if you're nasty. Max Wrestling UK, Captain 512, SMR Pod Net, Max Football Pod, and of course, check out the beautifully done website, maxwrestlingnet.com. Hit the follow button, subscribe button right here on the YouTubes. Head over to Facebook where you can get interactive there. Twitter and Instagram also interactive. And the best place to get interactive and get some stuff responded to, head over to the TikTok where we are about to get all kinds of crazy on. So get on over to the Max Wrestling TikTok, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, and come kick it with us.
And definitely subscribe on YouTube. Definitely. And
Absolutely.
Like and share. Just push YouTube for us. Help us.
Help us help you. Help each
All right,
other.
that's it for this week. Join us next week for Bad Blood predictions and week 2 of the Golden Gauntlet. Cannot wait. You've been watching the Cap and Mo. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night. Bye.
Big old target on the back. Here we go.